Okay, so my book choice for June was A Sky Hunter by Mary Lou. I really liked the books that she's done previously, which was about like post-apocalyptic kind of like teen drama. Yeah, so that was really good. And I wanted to read this one, which was a duology. So you have A Sky Hunter, and I think the next one is called Sky Reaper, the second part to it, which is like the follow-on to this one. So what made it was very easy read in that aspect. There was nothing that was too like dramatic, but I really like the way she told the story, like the backstory. I wanted to know. I was mostly invested in what happened before this story, like how that came to being. So that was my main takeaway so far. And I like the robot aspect, but she always has some kind of like sciencey sci-fi build up behind her story that merges the two together. So she does that really well.
Okay, so everyone's favorite character.
Favorite character? I'd say Red. Because I want to know what happened.
I did like Red.
Like what happened and how the surgery, and then what happened with the architect and all that stuff.
His dad and his sister. If we're talking backstory wise, I was more invested in Red's story than anyone else's. Yeah. I would like to get into Jaren's a bit, but what's the best friend girl? I was about to call them parabatides. What are they called? Partners. What are they?
They're like, I don't think it was parabatides, but I know what you was calling it.
What's Jaren's shield called? What's her name again?
Adina,
yeah.
I was just trying to think. I was thinking, who did I connect to? I can't say I really connected to a character, but in terms of just liking their character type, it would have to be Jaren, because he seems so cool.
Yeah.
And he just dances. Great, I like that. But then I wasn't emotionally connected to any of them, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think as well, there was a lot of like morally grey characters. Like they're doing bad stuff, but you can understand if they're getting threatened or put in a position where they needed to do this because for the betterment of their family, for the betterment of their protection. So you could understand that, yes, what they're doing is bad, but then they had a reason behind it. They were just not doing it just to be evil and just to be wicked.
But I didn't see it as that much of a grey area, only because they were military. Like if it was robbing from people, like Robin Hood.
Yeah.
I think that's more like you're literally stealing from people. But it was like a war thing, in it.
Yeah.
Obviously you are killing people, so I get what you mean, it's bad. But I didn't feel conflicted by it, because they were literally monsters trying to kill them all. I do think it's interesting from like a socio-political standpoint, because the whole thing were immigrants, it's relevant to everyone.
Yeah, there was a lot of that. You could see that this was very, they had to add those key talking points that we deal with in today's society, like trigger points kind of thing, that they had that. And I like how she had like the things had the same name that we're used to, but it's something else. They call it something else. Like what? In their time. Like with the ghost, it wasn't actually a ghost. It was more like, what is it? It was like a parasite, like a
some sort of creature.
Yeah, like a creature, but they made it seem like, oh, it's a duppy, but it wasn't a duppy. Because I was expecting some duppy. When Joe said it, I was like, okay.
Joe was like, the first sentence was talking about guys.
Yes, I was like, oh, some duppy business.
You know why? Because you guys was hyping the other duppy books we read. Even the last one, in the desert. And I thought, oh, so that's what one he chose. Like, oh. But yeah, you're right. It wasn't a literal ghost. It was like a mutant.
That's it, a mutant, yeah.
Yeah, basically, it was like a zombies, isn't it? They're basically infected, like Resident Evil kind of thing.
Yeah, but I didn't find the feel that moving, like, oh my gosh, I felt like the fight scenes were written well.
Yeah.
Like, that was epic.
I think it was very well written.
Yeah.
It was definitely an easy read, I'll give it that.
Yeah, it was easy in terms of, it's easy to follow.
Yeah.
But then I don't know, even from Korean, like, dying and stuff, I don't feel like I emotionally connected.
I think that happened too quick. I think that should have happened I thought that should have happened when Red had come, like in between, and then she did something to save Red, and then he ended up dying. So she had like survivor's guilt or something like that. That's what I was thinking.
I was just about to say, Mo, I couldn't care less about Corian
because I didn't care for him.
Never in the story.
Yeah, he was never. Yeah, and when she was like emotionally bawling and depressed and stuff, I'm like, we haven't spent enough time together to build that bond. I'm like, oh my God, they killed off my face.
Do you know what? You only need maybe one chapter to just incorporate them in it. Because what's the book with Danica and Bryce, Monique?
Crescent City?
Yeah. So when they kill off
Danica in the first couple of chapters.
No, not Danica and Connor, yeah. I'm invested because I've already spent it doesn't matter if it's 2 chapters with them. I've invested my time in these characters, then you've taken these characters away from me. That's a shock factor. But you expect me to be shocked about
after 10 pages
that I've never met.
That was the first time we see them out on the battlefield, and then he's dead.
Yeah.
There's a couple of battles. Like,
if you ask me, what's the one thing I didn't like about it? I would say that.
And you know what? I thought she should have kept when they went to like the new city and on the train and everything, and got to like the other nation, and she was in prison and she saw that guy and she thought it was him. I thought they should have said yes instead. It was like a bait and switch.
Yeah,
they should have kept it in that it was him.
Instead of just going no. Yeah, at least give us a little more time.
Yeah, build up.
That happened another time. Like Jaren's relationship with his parents. I think the thing she was trying to do, but it was just like it was in there quick and then it was taken out. You know what I mean? He's like, I'm not saying it's not unbelievable. I'm just saying
it was a bit far-fetched to me because I was like, this man is getting beat up by his brother and his dad, and
at this big age, the military. Okay. It's like I feel like partner, because we all know domestic violence is more complex. You know what I mean? But your brother and your dad, come on.
No, but I think as well, like she teased stuff, but she never followed through. And I think the stuff that she teased was so intriguing that she just went there, like she wasn't sure what she wanted to do, like go full over the cliff, or keep some of it back. Because who didn't know that Jaren and the First Blade were a thing, like from day dot?
Jaren and who?
The First Blade, the leader of the strikers.
Oh,
like, who didn't pick up that they were a thing? And they make it like it's some big reveal.
Yeah, exactly. They were close for comfort.
I think maybe she was simplistic in that. Like, Adina, the reason why she's vexed is because of her brother. Jaren has this, Red has that. It was kind of like, we've got a snippet of everyone's backstory. Yeah, everyone does have issues in life, but it's just a bit, and this is she just summarized it in a sentence, and this is the reason why. So and then it's like, okay, and this is the reason why Red's so torn, because his family. Okay. And this is the reason why, because he was the boy that I saw when I was young. And my dad, what happened to my dad?
Yeah, I
wanted more from that.
I wanted the dad to be the architect.
Yes!
I wanted that to happen. I just wanted more.
I didn't think he was going to be the architect because we knew the architect was a woman. But I thought
something, maybe
the dad was going to be like the premier's dad.
Like he needed to be some evil or something.
Nah, because remember the premier and her are basically like the same age or whatever. Yeah, that's why I thought, oh my gosh, it's her brother. Like her dad was secretly.
Right, that would have been dope.
Yeah, I was expecting another twist. I wasn't expecting to be like straight down and be like the evil guy's the evil guy. Yeah. I expected to be like her dad disappeared when she was young. Like when they were attacked, nobody knew where he was. They couldn't find the body. Something happened to him. He's a bad guy. No,
I needed OMG moments.
But I don't know.
There was a lot of gems that she could have followed through.
She could have. She did. She had like a good foundation, but her execution let her down.
Yeah. Excellent foundation.
You're right. That's why I think it was an easy read in a way, because you could just be like, oh, okay. But there was nothing that really like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There was no standout moment. There was like, oh my God, like in Crescent City. And I was like, oh, you know what? This book made me like, I don't like a book that doesn't leave me with any kind of emotional, like, let me have some emotional baggage, okay? Let me, like, you know what? Let me cross this over. Let me go and write a review because I'm so mad.
Yeah.
Right, it was more like a well-described video game, innit? Like she's the main character in the game and she's just killing people. And then that was the backstory of it, like, yeah.
You know what, I don't want to, I want to say I enjoyed it, yeah, but I feel like because I tried to read the second one.
Yeah. Oh, did you? You didn't tell us that.
Because
I was gonna read the second one because I want to know how it ends.
Yeah, I was so like, oh my gosh, what's going on? But I hated where they were going with it. I don't know. I don't want to say too much about that.
But
But
no, tell me because I want to know.
yeah,
Oh my
I'm
God,
gonna
let me guess.
I'm gonna finish it. But
let me guess. The guy is trying to fall in love with the wicked man from the next empire. If it's one of them love twist, shocking story, I'm not involved. No. Just tell me now so I can save my money.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
There's romance with Red though. Why would she go for something like there's gonna be a love triangle?
You know how many books I watched?
Sky Hunter.
Yeah, we knew they was gonna try and do that. So
Yeah.
now there's two Sky Hunters, but then who's her brain linked to?
Must be the man, the commander man. What's his name?
Premier.
The
I
premier.
can't remember what was the bargain. It was her mum or that in it.
Yeah. It's just a bit.
I wasn't even impressed with Spy Hunter either. I think because I read that book when I was in primary school, Skelling, and I rebought it.
Skellig.
Skellig, yeah. I know it's not the same, but I'm just saying, literally, I think that was like an awe-inspiring moment for me, the way his wings were described, you know, in the attic and all this stuff. Sky Hunter, even Sky Hunter, the reveal of him in this book, I wasn't that like, okay, well, I don't know why, like that didn't really.
Yeah, the reveal wasn't like mic dropping. It wasn't a mic.
Yeah. And it could have been because of, like I said, in Skellig, that stayed with me. How old was I? Like 10 or younger. And to this day, I'm like,
in the attic.
Yeah. I just remember like the way it was described. It just felt like, okay, yo, this is amazing. But then Sky Hunter, I was just like, okay, he's got wings. You know, it's cheap.
What a letdown.
But I don't know. And then also like, what about the early ones and all that?
I'm guessing the early ones are us, right?
Yeah.
But
I think as well, it reminded me a lot of The 100. Did you watch The 100?
I was just about to say that.
Something happened and they had to run away kind of into space, and then all the other stuff that happened in between. That's what I was getting from that.
Right, I'm sorry, my reference isn't as sophisticated. It reminded me of She-Ra. Have you watched She-Ra? You know He-Man?
Oh no, Joe.
Yeah, you know why? Literally, I swear, I think they call their predecessors the early ones, and it's the same thing, like early ones tech. Like if you watched one episode of that cartoon, you would feel like this book ripped them off, because it's the same thing. Like they have tech left over from, but I guess that's more space related.
Yeah, but that's most of those post-apocalyptic do that, because that's literally what 100 is about.
I mean, it makes sense because some ruins have got to be left.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying that's what it reminded me. Let me just think though. But did they call them the early ones in terms of the wording?
I think so. I think that's what they call them.
I was thinking in She-Ra.
Because they said they were like predestined to take over from them.
Oh no, they call it the first ones.
Oh, okay.
See what I mean?
Same kind of thing.
Yeah, not just like history, like the first ones, the early ones. Because it's not just like for us, we'll talk about mummies and, you know, fossils, but we don't really revere people that came before us like that. Even the ones who built the pyramid, because I guess we don't know how or who did it, even though we know it's
to this day.
But I'm saying that the shared theme I saw in She-Ra and even this book is like they almost had this kind of great reverence for the early ones.
Yeah, but I guess they don't know, so to them it's like holy, and they're like some kind of god of creation, some mythological creatures, because these people don't even know how to have fire and keep themselves warm. They don't know about trains.
That was weird because you don't realize that till later. Because
it's not fire, it's a lamp.
It's electric. It's a light.
Electricity.
Light, yeah.
It's a bulb. But that wasn't obvious to me in the beginning because nothing indicates that they don't have technology. Because obviously in a war-torn place, your priority wouldn't be TV necessarily.
It's just stay alive.
Do you know what I mean? It was only later that I realized, okay, some of the things she's calling inventions of things that are
basic things.
Yeah, so that was interesting. Yeah, what about the romance between Red and...
I think there wasn't a lot of a build-up. It was more like an insta-love kind of thing. I'm sure they had like two fights and it's like, oh, I like you.
And again, I hate that.
I'm coming to
Let
rescue
something
you.
happen where you two
Like,
connect, or like
yeah.
life doesn't happen like that. You don't go from hating someone to, oh, they can read my mind, I immediately love them. Like, that does
But I
not
don't think that
right?
even happened. Like, I don't think there was any build up. It was like, oh
There was
yeah,
no build up. It was,
There was a couple of
oh,
jokes about the mouse.
I hate this guy. I'm resenting the fact that I saved him, even though he didn't tell me to. And then now I like him and I'm gonna protect him at all costs. It was
yeah. I don't like insta love. You know, I'm not a big fan of
yeah.
insta love. I like them to be. I like conflict and build
I'm
up.
a enemies to
The
lovers.
lovers kind of girl.
I just think that's hard to do, even though everyone does it. And then I think
enemy to lover.
Yeah, because they always find a way to do it in films and stuff. Like, oh, they get on my nerves and then we fall in love. And then I was thinking, in real life, a lot of us would have done cut them off or tried to. In it, you would have been pissed off. Like,
yeah,
it makes for good stories, I guess.
Not only that, I don't think she was that angry that he was in her head, which was weird to me. That was like taken aback. Like, someone's in my head without my permission, and then you join my head and your head together for you to read all my thoughts. Like,
especially when it was a soldier from something else, from the other side,
that took over your whole country and your whole bloodline. And she wasn't even mad. She was very forgiving that he tried to kill her as a child. Like, girl.
Because he didn't, I guess, but yeah. We didn't say our worst character.
I don't think I spent enough time with any bad characters because it was mostly about her and her friends. Like, we got little glimpses of the.
I didn't like Adina.
Premiere.
Oh, really?
I'll say that.
Why?
I feel like she was a bit self-righteous. But other than that, yeah, there was no.
No, she was very much a woe me kind of character.
She was a what?
A woe me.
What's that?
Like, whoa me.
Oh,
whoa me.
Yeah, because she wasn't the only one that had a family member that died, considering the war.
Yeah.
That was kind of sad.
I think they were trying to make her funny and like.
I weren't feeling her at all.
They were trying to make her like sassy.
Yeah, well, she's the black one in it, so she would be sassy. Korean, yeah, he was white because he said blonde hair, but something made me think
eyes.
Because you know when they talk about them being toned, and I forget white people's toned and bronze is different to black people toned.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
because when someone says to me dark features, I'm expecting features like a dark person's features, but no, they mean actually dark hair and dark eyes. So yeah.
Yeah, that whole treating her like a rat and all that stuff. I was like, wow. I know people are ignorant, but I was like, damn, like even in the depths of war by mutants, that's like normal war, like, wow.
I like the way how they use the sign language. Like,
oh yeah,
he's the one that couldn't understand. I thought that was really good.
I really appreciate it.
I really like that. I've never seen that before. So
sign language into it.
I like the way they did that, where he was like literally an alien there because they were all just.
Yeah. And it just makes you think how practical it actually is in those situations anyway.
Yeah.
Someone once said if everyone learned sign language in school all across the world, we'd all be able to communicate. If there was just one sign language.
That is so true.
Yeah. You know what? I watched a video about when they do the whole signing to music at concerts.
Yeah.
It's literally like, is it 3 languages at once? Because ASL is not even like straight English converted to sign language.
ASL and BSL are different.
Yeah, she was saying it was like it's a shorthand. So instead of saying go into the shop, you'd say shop I'm going or something like that.
Yeah.
Listening to the lyrics and doing all that as well. And I thought, yeah, that's dope.
It's crazy, yeah.
I'll learn it.
You know? And those people that fake sign languages pretend. I don't know where these people come from. There's always one that comes out every couple of years that's having a job and they're signing. And
oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
On the news and then they hand. And I'm like, how do you make it up?
People will black their way through anything, you know. They're better than, because I just feel like, don't you have no shame?
No shame. And this is someone with a disability and he's just out here robbing their money. Someone was actually signed to have been doing that job this whole time. And you just keep collecting money for free.
It's so disrespectful. But yeah, I forgot to mention that because that's a standout part. But that shows how well it was written, that it didn't hinder the story in it
at all.
Like the way she did dialogue, it wasn't affected by the fact she has to say I signed with my hands. And
yeah, I guess because they all speak it, especially when they're on the battlefield. They don't speak. They just like be signing, do this, do that, da 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 da. And I think as well, when there was in the beginning when Corinne had died and she went to the family's yard and they were just the dad was just
that's the fine.
And then she was just there bawling and wailing. I'm thinking, I thought that would have come up again.
But
from when the man,
you know what? Maybe it's like, you know, when these army people say they have to go and give them
best regard.
Yeah, to the family and that. Maybe
yeah, that makes sense. And even like some cultures, like Nigerian culture, where you have to bow to your elders, that makes sense. But I thought we're staying there all damn night.
The only thing I remember was like in
grew up and didn't think she was worthy and that once all that comes out, it's like, okay, that's the vibe you're going with, you know, them ones.
I think in Asian culture, like Chinese and Korean, they would be out there crying for the whole days and days at a time. I'm not even lying. They'd be bawling and screaming for their loved ones. But I think that's like their culture to do that.
To show faith,
is part of their mum realistic
depiction?
Obviously, her mum can be badass. Like her mum was just naturally athletic, and that's what she got it from. But I don't know. What did you think about that? Because in the end,
but she said that her mum was a hunter. That was her mum's job in.
Yeah, but it was like a survival thing in it. It was.
But the mum was killing people because when they were attacked, the mum did kill this man.
Yeah, because she was a hunter. She said she
to save her. So the mum's been out here killing people for free, and then saying no way about it.
Yeah, I think she mentioned when they fled. I don't know. I think I did
like Mira. I think that's where they were from.
And the outer.
No, Bastille Saturn. They're from. Bastian. Where's Tallinn from? Bastian.
Yeah, Bastia, something like that. Yeah. Oh yeah, they call her a Bastian rat.
Yeah.
I like the whole way it was described, like the community you have in the. I want to call them the shanty towns, but obviously it's not literally shanty towns, whatever they call them. You know, the outer city.
Yeah.
That's in the
outskirts.
And you can smell the spices and compared to it's basically like the haves and the have-nots and you know the rich and the poor. War.
Yeah, but theirs was mostly because I guess the haves and the have-nots, but theirs was mostly to do with refugee basically, because they were the refugees and they dashed them out in the slums and everybody that's from there was completely fine.
Yeah, but were some people just poor?
All of them were refugees that were
everyone who wasn't allowed in
were foreigners.
Outside
the gate. Yeah.
Oh, that's bad mind. So they didn't even let them fully in.
No. So that was the whole thing. She's like, I'm fighting for a country who won't even let my mum through the gate.
Because I knew they would discriminate against her like nationality. Yeah. But then I thought that the scrapyard, I called it, was a mix of different people, like some people that just weren't lucky in life. I didn't really see it as a hard line. Like
no, I think it was a mix of different nationalities.
Immigrants.
Yeah.
That's cold. I guess though it's realistic in the sense that as long as it is, when resources are scarce, you know, people are racist, but we saw it even with Ukraine. Ukraine were the ones that were meant to be feeling sorry for. And they said to Black people, sorry, you ain't getting on this train.
I get Ukraine, not even that. We know it from the COVID vaccines and how Europe and America hoarded all the vaccines and let everybody else, oh, you're going to have to wait your turn.
Yeah,
I'm sure England bought like how much? Like 600 million vaccine. We only have 6 million. Why are we doing so much vaccine?
I didn't realize they're snatching them up. But
yeah, they snatched them up. And then when they vaccinated their country, they were like, okay, we'll give you some now.
Terrible.
But that's what one thing COVID tell you, that literally it's every country for themselves. Like people be
that makes sense to some extent, if you're developing it as well, because at the end of the day, if they didn't, we'd be complaining. Like I pay my taxes, mate. I look at that chunk you take out of my paycheck. I'd be mad if you're giving mine to other people first. Like, but I wouldn't be bad mind to say that you can't get on the train with me because that's actually like killing someone. That's like that's different. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's that fine. So I'm really curious. Give us a bit. How far are you in the second book, Shao?
Not too far, maybe like 70 pages in.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do with her becoming a sky hunter too.
It's just, I might even be 100 pages in. It's just, she's basically on the opposite side.
And she can't help it. She's like a prisoner of war basically now.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
And then her friends are all rebels.
Rebels
Why are
against.
they rebels?
Are they in the middle? Because obviously
Against the
lady-
premier.
Okay.
That's
Against
what
the premier.
And the speaker.
Against the premier. The speaker.
And I
I
have to
think
fight
he
against her.
I ain't heard. He ain't even in it. I don't know what
I
happened.
heard a pin from the speaker.
Huh?
What about Red? He escaped, didn't it? She let him
Red
fly.
is a rebel. Red, Adina, and Jevon.
She's there. So she's gonna fight against their own people.
This
She don't have a choice. She
this
has to
is
find a
where
way
it's
to break
going. And
she
I'm
has
just
to
like,
find a way to break that bond between her and the
She should
premier.
never said yes in the first place.
yeah. Yeah. So they've got her mom, and so she's doing everything. She's even setting up her friends.
No, but not only that,
It just doesn't make sense because I thought
there is no way, because she's already, her mind is already bonding with someone else. How can she be bonding with two people at the same time? Something has to be
still bonded to it.
Scientifically, I'm thinking about war. Like, I can understand with Red and his younger vulnerable sister, but her mum, even her mum, who's lived their life. I'm not saying kill your mum. I'm just saying, like,
but to kill 50 people.
That's what I'm saying, and especially
Like,
when you're trained military in war, you're meant to take the torture and just be like, okay, sacrifice.
No, but not only that, she's actually gonna be a better killer than Red, because she's been killing people for years. So now you basically enhanced her and basically give her like a Super Saiyan level of talent now, because she was already out here slashing man's throat with just hands and knife.
Yeah, it says that she is stronger than Red. She feels them coming and then she snitches to the premier. That's where I dropped it. I thought,
Red coming. You must feel Red coming.
Yeah, she felt Red coming and she snitched to the premier and sold him that Red, Adina, and Jevon was coming. And I was like, that is like a character default. Like, it doesn't make sense, because that doesn't seem like what the character would do, regardless of whether the mum is distressed.
For one mum as well. Come on.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me.
What is the quality of life that she'll be living anyway?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What city, what world? Like, what are you doing?
No, but if anything, she should probably try to do the suicidal route, because Red already told her the kind of things that they will do to you.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, Red realized that no matter what he did, they were all going to kill his parent, his dad, and his sister.
Exactly.
So he took the L, be like, you know what? No matter how many people I'm going to kill, they're just going to ask me to kill more people. Nothing's ever going to be enough. So let me just let them go. So
it would only make sense if from the beginning she just had to gain a little trust, and then she was going to break it from the inside. But to make her go do too much betrayal and all that, it's just long. Like, it's
yeah. You know, and I was definitely going to read it, and I was like, no,
I'm still going to get to it. But I was on a roll when I read Sky Hunter, and then I was like, oh, let me just bang this, and then I was reading, and I was like, nah. You know when you come off something that you enjoyed, and then it's just like, this ain't it. I feel like I'm reading about totally different characters. Why is that? Like, the consistency just weren't there for me. But I'm gonna finish. It might just be a slow starter.
It might just be on back burner.
Yeah. So we'll see. All right. Shall we do our
scores?
Things, yeah. Who's going first?
You go first.
Okay, so for June's choice, I'm gonna give Sky Hunter a 3.5. The reason why, I was torn between a 3.5 and a 4, but there was just a few things that I couldn't get behind. So the score had to drop a little bit, but I think it was an easy read. It flowed well. The characters were decent. The storyline was decent. So yeah, 3.5. Who's next? Go.
I concur. I was gonna say a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was some bits that she could have delved a little bit deeper with the story to make that connection and give you that, like, you know, that shock value, and give you like a book hangover. Who doesn't have a good book hangover after reading a book? You're like, you know what, that was so good, I could read it again. But this, he was like, no, I like some key points, like the storytelling, and then the main character having a disability and the way that she wove that into the storyline. That was really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, a 3.5. Solid, but not amazing.
Joe?
I'm gonna give it a 2.5. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it. Like,
why?
I just, like all the things he said, I just didn't care.
Oh,
care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that killed me, because there's other books I could forgive because I at least cared. And I feel like I could be more forgiving if I cared, but then I just like the whole way through, I was like, none of these characters, if they live or die, you know what I mean? None of them.
Yeah.
But the book itself, it was well written. Like, you can't diss the book.
Yeah, you have to give it its flowers. The book is decent.
Legend was better.
I would say it. They should just make it into a TP program. I feel like.
Yeah, I would eat this up.
No, I'm sorry. If she's gonna make it into a book, whenever her books in it, she needs to start with Legend, okay? Not this one. I'm sorry. She has better books.